everyone, this is Levi from Hammer Fab. We're out driving Juxta, our 66 GMC patina truck build that we did a couple years ago. Finally getting around to doing some video series on our builds, and so this is the first one, so appreciate you guys watching. We got this truck all dialed in where it's running good. It's got a Don Hardy LS3 with a Bowler Performance 4L80E transmission. It's got a chop and block extreme air ride chassis which rides amazing. It's got beefy spline sway bars front and back. Dakota digital gauges make it real easy to see what's going on with your engine and everything, so we like using those on our builds. So yeah, this is just a great cruiser. Super smooth ride. And it'll also lay frame if you want. Taking it to a show, lay it out. Looks really cool laying on the ground. So yeah, let's take it for a ride and see how it does. So right after we finished this truck, we took it out to SEMA, had it on display outside for a little bit. And then we took it to a couple of Good Guys shows. We got a contender for GM Iron Builder of the Year award. So, but we didn't win that overall, but we did get one of the picks for that, which is pretty cool. We also, when we were at the Good Guys events, autocrossed this truck a little bit. We didn't really purposely build it for autocross, but wanted to kind of see what it would do and show people that we can build stuff that you can actually drive and abuse a little bit if you want. So we took it out there and, you know, just for fun mainly. It was a lot of fun. So you can autocross a truck like this if you really want to. But the main premise of this build, the idea was to find a really solid, well, it wasn't really that solid rust-wise, but the patina, most of the patina was original and, you know, had a nice, beautiful patina to it. And the idea was to find one like that and turn it into a really awesome street machine kind of a truck with all new chassis, high performance engine, the best components you can get. And so that's what we did, and turned out to be an amazing build. So one of the things that kind of bugged me about some of these custom truck builds is the way everybody does the beds and the bed structure in the back. And whenever you build a truck that sits as low as this one does with all the air ride stuff, and the batteries are in the back now because there's no room for them up front, you got to be able to service that stuff somehow. So my goal with this build was to make the bed floor, design the bed floor in such a way that wasn't like everybody else's. So instead of using 1x1 square tube structure, which I don't like that, we decided to design the whole bed inner structure in SolidWorks. We had all the pieces laser cut, CNC bent, and basically it's kind of like a modular, every part bolted together becomes a strong unit in and of itself. And so what we ended up with was two flaps or two bed floors that tilt up instead of one big bed floor. And it's on gas struts instead of hydraulic actuators, which I don't like the hydraulic actuators at all. So trying to make it where it's user-friendly, serviceable, and beautiful to look at when you pop the lid. So I feel like we did all three of those, and I feel like we did a little bit better than some of the other builds. So on the chassis, we've got the chop and block extreme air ride chassis. It's all powder coated black. It's got big Bear brakes, 6P, 6-piston brake calipers, front and rear. Ferrata wheels, which are 20-inch in the front, 22 in the back. It's got Continental tires all the way around. The rear ones are 325s. Front ones, I believe, are 275s. The interior's got a full roll cage that we built. So it's all mandrel bent steel tubing. We bent it in-house, fit it inside the truck. The idea was that the main part of the cage would be removable so that we can get it powder coated instead of having to try and paint it. Because if you've ever tried to paint the back side of a cage like this, it's nearly impossible. So that's really the main reason we made it removable. And so it pins into the dash here and also bolts into the back. So we fully TIG weld the cage and make it fit really tight to the cab. So most people, when they look in here, they don't even know it has a cage. We decided to go with the 5-point retractable seatbelt harnesses. These are aircraft style seatbelts. So usually race car ones aren't retractable. That's why we go with the aircraft ones. They're just a little bit neater and kind of a neat touch to be able to just unhook your belt and they retract. The seat is a custom bench seat. Started as the original 66 GMC bench seat. We tore it all the way down. Decided to do some custom seatbelt pass-throughs in the crotch area and over your shoulders. And the bezels for those are 3D printed, which we designed in-house. And then they're wrapped in Relicate leather. So this is like a distressed, I forget the name of it, but it's a distressed kind of a cocoa brown with like a cream stitch. And my buddy Jay Schluter stitched the seat up for us. So the steering wheel is pretty awesome in and of itself. So this is a one-off billet steering wheel by Spark Industries. So if you guys have heard of that name, they make some really killer steering wheels that are billet aluminum. They've got several options that you can buy right off the shelf, but this is one that they custom designed for us and machined one off. So it's designed to mimic the original GMC steering wheel. It's a 2-spoke design, but it's got more depth than their normal off-the-shelf steering wheels. We decided to have them build it in where it has a leather wrap option on the top and the bottom, and then they custom machined the horn button with the Hammer Fab logo. So the truck was a really beautiful patina build. I got the truck originally from California on Facebook Marketplace and had it shipped to me. It was originally a 3/4 ton big truck, had like 8 lug axles and a Dana 60 rear end, super beefy truck, but it was a long bed originally too. And so it was a long bed, small window. Nobody wants a small window. I mean, I guess there's guys that want that, but for me, resale value was putting a big window in it and making it a short bed. So with this body style, it's pretty cool because if you dissect the bed accurately, you can put it back together without having any bed scars where you weld it back together. So that's how we did this bed. We put it all together by using panel bond only. There was very minimal welding on the bed sides. And so in that regard, we had to do very minimal Fotina on the bed. There was a little bit of damage on one side that we blended in best we could. The bottom of the doors were rotted completely, the inside and out, so we got new replacement panels from Classic Parts of America, and we meticulously patched those in and metal finished it so that there was no Bondo required to do the repair. There's no Bondo on this whole truck. So, you know, because it's a patina truck, you can kind of get away with some of that imperfection, you know, because it's hard to make it perfect. You know, a lot of people look at this, they say, oh man, it's perfect. No, it's not perfect. It looks cool, and that was our goal, was to get it pretty close to perfect without having any body filler, and that saves a bunch of time because then you end up not having to paint the whole truck. So once we metal finished it really nice, we Fotinaed it, and then after we got done with all the Fotina, we sprayed the entire truck with an epoxy satin clear coat primer from Squeegee's Customs. So they make a really cool clear epoxy primer. So that's what's on the outside of this. That makes it a little bit easier to maintain, clean, detail. You know, it's not really designed to sit out in the sun for several weeks at a time, but it's better than just you know, having to keep oiling it with some juice all the time. You know, some of these guys are constantly lathering their trucks in some kind of juice. I don't know what it is, but yeah, so that way this truck can stay maintained, and it'll actually, whoa, we got a big deer in the way. Holy cow, we almost smoked a deer. about an 8-point buck. Brakes work. Only out in the country. You ain't gonna get that video in town. On this truck, we decided to use Restomod air conditioning, which is currently blowing cold right now. The shift linkage on this truck is kind of cool. Kind of trips people out when they see it. I stole the idea from Delmos, so thank you Delmos for the cool idea on the suicide shifter. So these trucks had a really cool emergency brake or parking brake lever on the left side. And so I always thought that was pretty cool how Del converted that to a automatic transmission shift linkage. So stole that feature from him and did that on this truck. So that's one of my favorite features. So if you guys are interested in doing a build like this, we like doing a patina build as long as it's a really nice patina build. If you got like a original old truck that you just want to slam and put it on a new chassis, we'd love to do that sort of thing. Or if you want a really nice truck, we do that too. So let us know, hit us up. You can get us at info@hammerfab.com if you're interested in doing a build. Follow us along on Instagram if you don't already. We're at HammerFab on Instagram. And this video, obviously it's on YouTube, but just in case this video gets posted somewhere else and they want to go to YouTube, we're at HammerFab Official on YouTube. Thanks for watching.
Oh, perfect.